everyone, Jess here. I've got a little bit of music playing just so everyone knows. I hope you can hear me okay. I've just finished taking a little private class here at my home, and I just wanted to share the practice that we did this afternoon. If you are back at work at the moment, or even still at home if you're quarantining or still having to work from home, if you want to join in and you can take part in this little gentle movement practice, a little bit of shoulder opening, a little bit of hip opening, but very mindful. So I'm going to have 2 blocks with me if you want to bring those with you as well. If you are at home and you don't have any yoga props with you, a book can also be helpful, or something to have underneath you, or even I know the old aerobics style used to use cans as their weight bearing things. So if you want to grab any of those, you are more than welcome. I'm going to go and get myself set up on my mat though, and hopefully you can hear me. I'll try and speak nice and loudly. So coming over onto your mat, and you can set up your blocks to the side for a moment, and finding a settled space to just take a moment to come into your mat. So that might be sitting on your heels, it might be sitting cross-legged, it might be standing, or even with the support of a cushion or something underneath you. And taking a moment here to notice the ground beneath you. Noticing the air or what you can feel on your skin. And maybe checking in with how you're feeling today. You can start to move with me, if you like, by gently lifting the arms to the sky, reaching high, and then maybe taking hold of the right wrist with the left fingers, opening up a little through the side as you take a little lean towards the left side. And coming back through the center, letting go of the arms, reaching for the left wrist with the right fingers. And taking a little lean towards the right side. Maybe noticing any sensations that come up through the side of the body. And releasing, and taking a nice big breath at the top. And taking the hands down, big breath out. And then coming over to meet in a tabletop. So spreading the fingers wide, settling the hands about shoulder width apart, and the knees can be roughly around hip distance apart. You can take a little wiggle from side to side here if you need to iron out any creases in the hips. Before coming to stillness and a couple of cat-cow movements. So as you breathe in, dipping the belly low and looking forwards. Breathing out, arching through the back, tucking chin into chest. Breath in, lowering down, looking up. And breathing out, arching the back. Doing one more round before arching the back. And coming back to the center. And starting to take out the right foot behind you, pressing into the toes, maybe a little lengthening through the calf there. And then starting to keep that engagement in the foot, start to lift that foot all the way up. So creating a somewhat long line of energy from the head all the way to the toes. And holding here as you take a breath in. Create a little bit more space, and then breathing out, bring the right knee in, curling through the chest, really doming the back. As you inhale, extend that leg out nice and long. Breathing in, curling in. Doing this one more time. Reaching long, pressing through that heel. And then right knee comes all the way to the nose. And then finding that foot's way in between your hands. So I'm going to grab my right ankle and bring it between my hands, settling onto my fingertips here, adjusting my back knee. And I'm going to reach for my blocks or my props that I might have with me, just to give myself a little bit extra space. And settling into this low lunge here. You might have the palms down on the blocks, or you might not even have any props with you at all. Keeping the left hand down, taking the right hand to the right hip. I'm going to turn my back towards you here. Maybe the right arm reaches to the sky. And then maybe some circles come in through that arm, reaching. Circling at your own pace. Before returning right hand to that right block. And then swapping over sides, so right fingertips or right palm will stay down as the left arm starts to open this time. You might start to circle that arm or stay nice and still. Maybe even following the hand with the eyes, with the gaze. Before returning it all the way down to the block or to the mat. And then from here, starting to straighten through the front leg, so leaning back into the left side. Maybe the hands come a little closer towards you as you give the toes a little wiggle. Check in with them. And take a little breath in as you maybe rise to the fingers. And then fold all the way down. Holding here in this nice stretch. And before rebending back through that front knee. You can move the blocks to the sides or slowly to the front of your mat if they were there, as you then start to press that foot back to your tabletop. And again, maybe a little sway of the hips. You might even start to press backwards and forwards. And then as you're ready, coming back to a tabletop position. This time extending out through the left leg, really pressing through the toes, noticing any sensations that come up in the calf muscle or through the back of the leg. And as you gently bring the weight into your hands, that left leg will start to lift up behind you. Line of energy from head to toe. And then taking a breath in here. Breath out, curling in, squeezing that knee to the nose. Inhale, extending long. Exhale, curling in. Once more, reaching. And then as that knee comes all the way in, curling, arching through the back. Maybe using the left hand to bring that left foot all the way between the hands. Setting up into this lunge position on this side. Now again, maybe the blocks come with you or you simply rise onto the fingertips. I'm going to use this side without my props. And so this time the right fingertips stay down. Left hand can come to the left hip as you turn your chest. And then maybe that arm extends to the sky. Option to take those circles here. Maybe if you're inside, you might imagine painting a nice big circle with the fingers, rotating through the shoulder before returning that hand all the way down, back to the mat. And then moving to the opposite side again, I'm turning my back to you here, starting to peel open the right arm. An option to circle or stay in stillness. returning that hand all the way to the mat. And then starting to walk the hands back as you straighten through the left leg this time. Giving the toes a little wiggle. Keeping soft through the face here. As you take an inhale and rise to the fingers. And then folding down. And then re-bending back through that front knee, hands come down, stepping back to your tabletop and taking the knees a little wider, big toes to touch, settling back to a child shape, softening forehead to the mat. And lifting the head and starting to draw your way back up to a comfortable seat. That might be sitting on a blanket or a pillow and finding a comfortable spot for you. I'm going to take a block underneath my sit bones and finishing off our little mini practice with a breathing exercise called sun breath. You might want to bring your hands to rest in front of you. So imagining you're maybe holding an imaginary ball, or even imagining a little energy circle. And you might have the eyes closed or open here, or a very soft gaze. And then as you start to breathe in, maybe synchronizing the movements with your breath. Opening the hands a little wider on an inhale. And as you exhale, hands come back together. Breathing in, opening. Breathing out, closing. Doing a couple rounds like this. Again, either matching with my movement or doing this at your own pace, your own breath. And if you want to stick with this one movement out and in, you can keep going there, or you might even start to change the direction, starting to open this up a little more into a side opener. And coming back together. And then maybe swapping sides, opening the arms out. And coming back. Wherever you are, doing a few more rounds in your own time. Mindful of your movements and your breath, maybe matching together. And taking 2 more rounds wherever you are. As you finish, letting the hands relax back into the lap. Maybe the palms are facing up. And letting your body resettle after a little bit of that movement practice. Again, checking in how you're feeling. Maybe if anything's changed. end of this little practice by bringing the palms to touch at our heart space in Anjali Mudra. The thumbs can come near the sternum. And as you gently bow towards the ground in honor of yourself, maybe anyone who's practicing with you, and taking this moment to be grateful for the lands on which we practice. As you might rise back to a seat, the eyes might blink open, taking in your surroundings, and gently releasing the hands. I'm going to scoot in a little closer back to the video so I can finish this off. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching live, thank you Erin, or watching a little bit later. I hope that practice opened up a little bit if you're feeling a little squidgy and tight after a long weekend as well. If you have any questions about anything or would like to see any particular practice or any particular demonstrations for anything, please let me know. You can comment in this post. And not forgetting, I have also just started a new podcast called the Plant Powered Yoga Podcast, which I'm very excited about. And the second episode is coming out tomorrow. I interview one of my good friends, Susie, who is a wonderful yoga teacher as well. So if you're watching this and want to have a little listen, you can search for the Plant Powered Yoga Podcast on any of your streaming apps where you listen to podcasts. But I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon. It's nice and sunny where I am, so I'm definitely taking in all these good vibes from nature. Big love to everybody and stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.